wondering if you could click on the participants button and change your name or rename yourself. That would be really helpful. Good morning, everybody.
I see a certain Senator Zwicker is in the house.
Excellent. Good morning, Senator. You will be speaking first at 11:03. We will be starting.
And Assemblyman Singh is also on.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Yay.
Excellent. Welcome, welcome.
He's number two, I take it?
We can have both our legislators go first, and then
That would be great.
Assemblyman Singh, you're still you're still showing up as Stephen Elliott.
Oh, so it's not my fault.
Morning. I think I fixed the adder.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And with that, it is 11:03. Good morning, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rachel Dawn Davis, and I am the Public Policy and Justice Organizer for Water Spirit, a spiritual ecology nonprofit founded in 1998, inspired by the beauty of the Jersey Shore. I will be your master of ceremonies for this morning's press conference. We are gathered here to share about the support for a New Jersey Green Amendment, an amendment to the New Jersey State Constitution that would add in the rights we didn't know we didn't have. Rights to clean air, pure water, a stable climate, and healthy environments for current and future generations. This campaign in New Jersey has been ongoing since 2017, and support is growing stronger, broader, faster, alongside the extremes of climate crisis we are disproportionately experiencing. Before we begin, I want to extend a sincere thank you to the members of the press for your time today. We also recognize our incredible supporters, partners, and stakeholders whose dedication has made today's event possible. Your commitment to the New Jersey Green Amendment, our North Star, is the reason why we are here, to keep things moving efficiently today. We will hear remarks from several speakers, hailing from all across the state, starting with our legislators. Following the remarks, we will open the floor for a question and answer session. To ask a question, we will direct you as to how to do that in the question and answer box. Raise your hand and we will specifically call on you. Please kindly remain on mute until called upon to help us minimize any background noise. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. We have a legislative champion in the 16th District of New Jersey, which touches Somerset County, home to one of the 4 counties that have now passed resolutions in support of the New Jersey Green Amendment. New Jersey Senator Zwicker, we appreciate your attention, your time today, especially, and the floor is all yours. Please feel free to unmute.
Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate the chance to speak here and to kick this off. I've been a sponsor of the Green Amendment since it first was introduced. Frankly, when I heard Maya speak about it for the first time, I thought there couldn't be anything more no-brainer than a constitutional right to clean air, clean water, a healthy environment. And as you said, Rachel, just shocking that we don't have that right constitutionally. I have to tell you that, in the ensuing years, while at first I thought this should be a slam dunk, we'll get it done quickly. Like many things in politics, that's not the case. But every year I am more and more optimistic as we see not just fellow legislators, but people from around the state learn about the importance of a green amendment. In fact, in my opinion, that's what today is about, and that's what our entire movement is educating folks at whether that you're a government official, a state rep like myself and the Assemblyman, or whether you're just someone who's working and trying to get by week by week and month by month. This is genuinely a movement. The people who are here today at this press conference, the people who have been going to seminars and learning about the Green Amendment are part of this entire movement. You sort of hinted at it, Rachel. the time to get this done is more and more urgent because we are seeing attacks on the environment that are just unprecedented at the federal level. And the most important thing is that state rights are strong and states are where all of the action is. And so while the federal government may be trying to decrease environmental standards and go back on climate change policy, New Jersey is standing strong. We always have been, we always will be, and the Green Amendment is part of that movement to protect each and every New Jerseyan for their absolute right to clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment. So I am beyond grateful to be a part of this, to work in collaboration with everybody that's on this Zoom, but quite frankly, everyone across the state. So thank you for having me. I'm feeling very optimistic that we are building that momentum to get to the critical point, to see a Green Amendment constitutional question in front of the voters of New Jersey. So thank you so much, Rachel.
Thank you so much, Senator. Here, here. Here, here. Next, we have a legislative leader in the 7th District in New Jersey in Burlington County, home to another one of the 4 counties that have now passed resolutions in support of the New Jersey Green Amendment, New Jersey State Assemblyman Singh. We appreciate your attention, your time today, and the floor is all yours. Feel free to unmute.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Jacqueline, for looping me in on this initiative that has been brewing for a couple of years all across the state. As a county commissioner, I had a little bit of knowledge to this, but I'm learning more and more about the initiative, the groundbreaking work that it can do for future generations. I think the idea here is that we are really temporarily occupying a space, and we want to make sure all the experiences, the environment. I believe right now I have access to safe water, safe air. I think the senator mentioned. I'll echo what he said, that we take it for granted that we should have all access to clean air, pure water, healthy ecosystems, just places where we can thrive, we can live, we can work, we can raise a family. But I think the senator mentioned, without having this enshrined in the highest form in our state constitution, these can go away incrementally, little by little. We are always, I think, as a county commissioner and a school administrator too, we're always making decisions where sometimes it's priorities. This has to get done. I know I care about this and this too, but what about this? This has to be done. And I think the more you delay, especially in economic health of the state, economy, in development, infrastructure, these are real conversations, and these issues that are going to bring to the surface whether the clean air the quality is going to change, pure water, whether the health is going to be impacted, sometimes take a back seat. They don't take the priority in those conversations. Not that I don't think people don't care about it. I think everybody, wholeheartedly wants to support all of these conversations, but sometimes, we have to make decisions and priorities have to be listed in an order. So, I recognize that, hey, a state like New Jersey, we're most densely populated state in the nation. We have a long industrial history, tremendous development pressures. Hey, I'm sitting on a district that's along the Delaware River. I know the pressure that has come and gone and that continues to come, because while the river is no longer the main artery for moving goods around the state, I have 295, I have a turnpike, I have Pennsylvania Turnpike that makes the connection. So we're still a place where people want to come by and start a business to bring basically infrastructure in. That puts a lot of pressure on our nature developed, sites, which are our woodlands and the vast spaces, into turning them into man-developed surfaces. So I don't like to use the word as much as I can avoid developing sites. I think the sites are already developed. It's just a focus on who's developing, man versus the nature. So in that conversation, in this initiative, I am with you guys. I believe wholeheartedly that we inherit this and we have a duty to pass this on so that our children, our grandchildren, our future generations have same access and same quality of life that we have. So with that, I'll pass it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, again, here. Caring for the Delaware River is actually how I met our next speaker. Without further ado, we have Maya K. Van Rossum, the Delaware Riverkeeper, and Green Amendment Movement Mama, the founder of the Green Amendments for the Generations. Take it away, Maya.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning. As Rachel said, my name is Maya Van Rossum. I'm the founder of the Green Amendments for the Generations organization and movement. I'm also the Delaware Riverkeeper. And currently, there are already Green Amendments existing in 3 states: Pennsylvania, Montana, and most recently, New York, with Green Amendment proposals put forth in over 20 others. New Jersey really could be at the forefront of the Green Amendment movement if we chose to be. In fact, we started off being very much at the front of the table with the opportunity to be the 4th state in the nation to pass a Green Amendment. But we have quickly fallen behind. The New Jersey Green Amendment was actually first proposed in 2017. And since 2017, the people of New Jersey have been asking for the opportunity to decide whether or not their state constitution, the constitution that belongs to the people of the state, should be amended to include a right of the people to clean and healthy water, air, soils, climate, and environment. And despite the good efforts of our legislative champions, since 2017, those in leadership within government have actually, in my opinion, misused their power to stop the conversation about whether the inalienable human right to a clean, safe, and healthy environment is being honored, respected, and protected here in New Jersey, or whether it's actually time to amend the state constitution's Bill of Rights to include environmental rights that must be protected equitably for all the people of New Jersey. In the 9 years since its first proposal, the New Jersey Green Amendment has only been granted a hearing twice. And both times that hearing opportunity has been made available by Senator Smith, both times before his Senate Environment Committee. Both times the people of New Jersey turned out with overwhelming and compelling testimony urging passage of the Green Amendment. Both times industry turned out their talking head hacks with ridiculous arguments in opposition. For example, that amending the state constitution using the constitutionally articulated process for doing so was, wait for it, unconstitutional, they said. Or they made assertions like New Jersey's environmental protection laws were working for everyone in the state, in callous disregard of the overwhelming pollution burden and environmental harms communities in Newark and Camden live with, ignoring that there are communities across New Jersey harmed by toxic algal blooms, that they are forced to live next to toxic sites, forced to watch as critical ecosystems are devastated for industry or inappropriate development, ignoring that there are communities across New Jersey suffering the ravages of a growing climate crisis. At the end of both of those hearings, the committee membership overwhelmingly voted in support of passage, and there the process stopped. Neighboring Pennsylvania communities have had their environmental rights recognized in their state constitution's Bill of Rights for decades, and it's working well. New Yorkers secured their Green Amendment in more recent years, and they're starting to use it too. These Green Amendments are helping to ensure that every time government acts, it is working to proactively protect the environmental rights of the people and the natural resources of the state, and ensuring that when government or the laws of the state of New Jersey are not providing essential protections, that the people have a pathway to secure the protections that they actually need. Will the New Jersey Green Amendment be an instant panacea to address all the environmental ills in New Jersey? Of course not. But it will ensure that New Jersey communities have a meaningful voice when New Jersey laws or government are failing to ensure essential protection. A New Jersey Green Amendment would provide and ensure a historic legacy of protection for all the people of New Jersey and all the future generations yet to come. And we are here today to once again say that this is what the people want and need here in the state of New Jersey. With that, I pass it back.
Thank you. Let's hear it from the people in New Jersey, which is what we're going to do today. So next we have a leading advocate, a strong voice of New Jersey for the New Jersey Green Amendment, based in Southern New Jersey, Stephen Elliott, Director of Watershed Programs for Pinelands Alliance. Take it away.
Thanks, Rachel. So let's be clear. The New Jersey Green Amendment is about taking power back and putting it where it belongs, in the hands of the people. Not politicians we cannot always trust to do the right thing, present company excluded, and not regulatory agencies that too often compromise our health and natural resources. At its core, this is about protecting the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the communities we call home. While New Jersey has long been a leader in environmental policy, the risks of relying solely on regulations and statutes are becoming increasingly clear. A power grab for polluters is happening before our eyes. As previous speakers have mentioned, the federal government is advancing one of the most sweeping environmental rollbacks in U.S. history. Foundational safeguards are being targeted, including efforts to withdraw the endangerment finding and efforts to narrow protections under the Clean Water Act. At the same time, limits on power plant pollution, vehicle emissions, methane leaks, and toxic air pollutants like mercury are being weakened or eliminated. Taken together, these actions represent a broad effort to scale back protections for our air and water while prioritizing fossil fuel interests over public health. These actions make one thing clear. No law or regulation is truly safe from being weakened or erased, no matter how essential it may be. We would be delusional to think the same thing cannot happen here in New Jersey in the name of deregulation and short-sighted economic gains. Here in New Jersey, the stakes could not be higher. We have more Superfund sites than any other state and continue to lose open space and farmland to overdevelopment while facing growing pressure from data centers and other profit-generating projects. And even when every parcel is either developed or preserved, we should anticipate the protections in place to be attacked from every angle. These threats are not abstract. They are real and affecting communities across our state right now. Too often, we are forced into a reactive position, trying to repair damage after it has already been done. That approach has not worked in the past, and it will not work any better going forward. The New Jersey Green Amendment offers a better path. It establishes a constitutional right to a clean and healthy environment, securing these protections with the strongest safeguards our legal system provides. It also shifts the focus from reaction to prevention, requiring the state to protect natural resources before they are harmed, not after. So when decisions are made to lease public lands in places like Liberty State Park for private luxury yacht warehouses, or when proposals emerge to push infrastructure projects through our beloved Pinelands, despite public opposition, people will have the power to hold decision makers accountable before lasting damage is done. This is about more than policy. It is about ensuring every resident in every community has the right and the power to stand up for clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment, and to ensure those protections cannot be easily rolled back. We have a choice before us. We can leave these protections vulnerable to political change, or we can secure them in our Constitution for generations to come. We are not asking the legislator to decide whether these rights exist. We already know they do. We are asking them to let the people of New Jersey vote to enshrine these rights in our Constitution and put the power over our communities back where it belongs, in the hands of the people. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Rachel.
Woohoo! Hear, hear. Thank you, Stephen. Yes, prevention is key. Next up, we have Shaelyn Parker, River Protection and Environmental Rights Advocacy Associate at Delaware Riverkeeper Network. Thank you, Shaelyn.
Thanks so much, Rachel. Good morning, everybody. My name is Shaelyn Parker, and as Rachel said, I'm the River Protection and Environmental Rights Advocacy Associate at Delaware Riverkeeper Network. Delaware Riverkeeper Network champions the rights of our communities to a Delaware River and tributary streams that are free-flowing, clean, healthy, and abundant with a diversity of life. Our organization represents nearly 30,000 members throughout the Delaware River watershed. Delaware Riverkeeper Network has long been a leader in advancing the values of a New Jersey Green Amendment. Delaware Riverkeeper Network, joined by 7 towns, led the legal effort that realized the potential of a similar constitutional environmental rights amendment in Pennsylvania. Using that Pennsylvania Green Amendment, we were able to defeat a pro-fracking law that would have wreaked irreversible environmental harm and put our communities at risk, all for the benefit of the oil and gas industry. Green Amendment language, similar to what we have been uplifting in New Jersey, has been pivotal to our advocacy and legal efforts in the state of Pennsylvania. We've used the amendment in PA to compel the Department of Environmental Protection to engage in environmental cleanup of a toxic contamination site, to protect public open space, to empower our watershed communities to remind government of their highest protected environmental rights at every opportunity, and so much more. We have experienced firsthand the paradigm-shifting power of green amendments and want to see the same level of protection in all of our watershed states, including New Jersey. Much of our work at Delaware Riverkeeper Network centers on protecting our precious natural spaces and communities, not just for the people of today, but for future generations yet to come. With a New Jersey Green Amendment in place, we can do just that. From safeguarding vulnerable species like the endangered Atlantic sturgeon, to restoring our creek and riverside spaces with diverse, abundant ecosystems, to fighting against proposals for dirty LNG and fossil fuel projects in burdened environmental justice communities. Everything that we do is with the intention of leaving our Earth a better place for those who come next. With the New Jersey Green Amendment, generational protection is no longer just a guiding compass for organizations and our hardworking community allies. It is an opportunity and obligation for all of New Jersey government, an enforceable promise of environmental rights that must be kept for the benefit of we the people. We therefore call on the New Jersey legislature to let the people of New Jersey have a say in whether they too want these environmental rights enshrined in the state constitution for their children, grandchildren, and all future generations to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. Growing up spending summers in Pennsylvania along the Delaware River, I am so grateful the state uncovered these rights. Really, you uncovered these rights, Green Amendments for the Generation and Delaware Riverkeeper Network, for all states to work toward, including New Jersey, your neighbor. Now we will hear from Ellie Gruber, a member and representative of the long-standing League of Women Voters of New Jersey. Thank you, Ellie. You have the floor.
Thanks. Even though it says Melissa Marks, I got on the wrong link. Yeah, my name is Ellie Gruber. I'm co-chair of the League of Women Voters Natural Resource Committee. The League is a nonpartisan political grassroots network and membership organization that works to empower voters and defend democracy. We support the New Jersey Green Amendment, the SCR 27 thus far, legislation that would guarantee our right, as everyone said, pure water, clean air, and a healthy environment. These guidelines are simple yet profound. The proposed amendment has had dozens of sponsors in both the Assembly and Senate over the years. Yet, as we heard, it has only had a couple of committee hearings. What the League, along with many residents and environmental groups, are asking is simple. Give the residents of New Jersey a chance to examine the proposed amendment and let us decide by vote on the next ballot. While the bill is languishing in our legislature without committee hearings, we are not debating the issue. We're not evaluating the amendment. Much of the legislation we rely on today to protect our environment and our communities goes back to the 1970s. As we actively battle the impacts of climate change It is well past time to update our laws and pass proactive protections. SCR 43 is designed to give New Jersey residents a legal basis against further harm to the health and the health of our environment. Our communities, particularly those in overburdened communities that are closest to pollution sources, are left to battle alone with high asthma and environmental water contamination, increased flooding, and more impacts from fossil fuel companies. There is also an environmental justice issue, as communities of color are often the ones in overburdened neighborhoods forced to navigate these environmental harms. Residents living with these realities speak up against new pollutant sources, new harms to their environment, but that has not been enough. New Jersey needs a Green Amendment to guarantee the public basic protections to our health and legal recourse to defend these rights. As this bill directly impacts New Jersey residents, it is time to let them decide. Our state, our democracy is at its strongest when New Jersey voters are active and empowered. By putting the Green Amendment on the ballot, voters have the opportunity to codify their right to public health and a clean environment for generations to come. Just as the League of Women Voters believes that everyone has a fundamental right to vote, we believe that everyone has a fundamental right to clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment. That is why we support the Green Amendment. We urge the members of this committee, Senate committee, and Assembly committees to vote yes in the near future. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ellie, and League of Women Voters New Jersey. We are really, really appreciative of those very important words. Again, a very long-lasting organization, seeing into the future, that this is for the long run, for the future generations. We are fortunate to hear next from a voice you may have heard from a previous webinar Water Spirit hosted called Faiths Across Traditions in support of the New Jersey Green Amendment, a voice which reminds us that we are water, and what we do to water, we do to ourselves. Thank you for speaking, S.D. Smith, member and representative of the Ramapough Lenape Nation.
You just stole my speech there. Yes, I like to begin with the prayer in the Munsee language, or meditation if you're an atheist. Anashik ki shalamo kwang, Anashik huachi manitou, elamiliang, Gaganai ki, walk imbi, walk karashong, walk tindao, ki shalamo kwang, kwinga witch mayo, huachi manitou, kwinga witch mayo. So I'm a member of the Ramapough Munsee Lenape Nation, the original people of the region here. And what I said in the Munsee language was a prayer. And you know, there's well over 500 nations today north of the Rio Grande, and you know what is called now the United States, and over 60 state-recognized nations. So we're not monolithic. However, a common thread that you'll see throughout many of our communities is that our prayers are really begin and end with words of thanks. So our word for thanks in the Munsee language is anushik, thanks. And what I said was thanks to a creator whom we call Ki Shelamokwang, who created us from thought. And a recognition that our thoughts are real as well, not just what we can touch and feel. And this is how many great things start. I mean, the Constitution was a thought at one point in time, and people put it down on paper, and then it became, well, I guess it's still waiting to become a reality, but that's part of the process, you know. So another word we have for creator is Huachi Manitou, great spirit. Manitou, it's the belief that everything has a spirit. So I think in some ways, Einstein, E is equal to MC squared is a better translation. And what that means is equivalence of energy and matter. That matter isn't different from energy. It's a certain subset of energy. And it's a recognition that you know, there's spirit in everything, not just the human beings, but the animals, the plants, even the stones, rivers, valleys have a certain integrity that needs to be respected. And that's what this amendment does, is it kind of recenters and reorients ourselves to what's really important. And that's the last part of the prayer. Thanks for the earth, which we take into each other, ourselves as food. Thanks for the water. Thanks for the wind, and thanks for fire. Recognition that really what we most need in this world, we actually already have, but we are rapidly destroying in many respects. So any good system of governance will recognize that we have a right to water. Fundamentally, though, it is that we are water. Over 60% of our bodies are water. So it doesn't really take a genius to figure out that what we're putting into the water and what we're putting into the air, we're putting into ourselves. So perhaps that is no mystery then that why New Jersey has the most number of Superfund sites in the nation, something that we really don't want to be number one in, but we are. One of our communities that's been severely impacted is Ringwood, New Jersey, and legacy from the Ford Motor Company, where they dumped untold amounts of pollution into the mines, the former mines there, Revolutionary War, dating back to Revolutionary War era. And the problem you have is that those waters at the headwaters of the Wanacue Reservoir, which supplies drinking water for millions of people in New Jersey. So what affects one area of New Jersey affects other areas and really the entire planet. That's why we talk about global climate change. So I'll wrap up with another word in Munsee, which is Mbi Imbumasawakanam, Mbi Imbumasawakanam. And that was really inspired by the Dakota word, Mini Wachoni, which means water is life. And as a colleague has said, water is life because water provides life. And I'll just end there and am thankful to be part of this group pushing forward this green amendment so that we can all live and live well and live long. Thank you, Anushit.
Thank you so much, Anushit. Thank you so much for your poignant words today, for that meditation and clear reflection. It could not be more incandescently clear. Thank you. We all know parents are the glue that keep communities together, and our next speaker has been directly making the connection to this Green Amendment movement for years, representing Parents Engaging Parents New Jersey. Up next is lead organizer Erica Beverett.
Thank you, Rachel. So Parents Engaging Parents, we've been working directly with families living in communities that are most impacted by environmental pollution. And it's particularly those that are in and near ports, from the Port of New York, New Jersey to Camden. Our work centers around empowering parents, residents, and young people to understand how environmental decisions affect their health. And so also reflecting on their children and their future and ensuring that their voices are a part of the solutions. So through initiatives like our Clean Ports Report Card and our collaboration with national environmental justice partners, PEP is helping bring transparency, accountability to port operations. And the ports, as we know, are a major economic engine for our region, but they are also a major source of pollution. Families in Newark, Elizabeth, Bayonne, and Camden are breathing in the consequences every day. That's why PEP supports the Green Amendment for New Jersey. A Green Amendment affirms that every resident has a constitutional right to clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment. For portside communities, this protection is critical. At the same time, we want practical, immediate solutions that can reduce pollution now. And this includes accelerating the electrification of drayage trucks, introducing cleaner biofuels where electrification is not yet feasible. It also means implementing shore power so vessels can plug into electricity at berth instead of running diesel engines for days while unloading cargo. These solutions already exist in other communities. What's needed is the policy, commitment, and accountability to implement them quickly. The Green Amendment helps ensure that health of families living near our ports and throughout New Jersey is treated not as an afterthought, but as a constitutional right that must be protected. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Education really does cause us to ask questions, and thank you so much for all the work you're doing, Parents Engaging Parents, for everything that you're working on. Let's continue that education. Let's hear from a voice of science. Next, we are going to hear from Dr. Emile DeVito, Manager of Science and Stewardship at the New Jersey Conservation Foundation. Take it away, Doctor.
Hi, everybody. If you can't hear me good, just raise your hand, Rachel. I'm just
We got you. You're coming in perfectly.
Great. I'm just going to try to keep my camera on for at least a moment. Standing here under a gigantic red maple tree near the Rahway River. And as you can see, the tree knows what time of the year it's in. The buds are swelling and it's about to flower. Some of the first flowers that, occur naturally in the springtime are the red maples. And I want to just comment on, a lot of people are talking about the scare that's being put into us by the federal government, rolling back environmental protections and ignoring science. But it's more than just that, because even the best of governments often lag decades behind scientific knowledge. And that's true here in New Jersey. We know that we should be doing a lot of things in terms of protecting our air and our water and our soil and our open spaces. We know that we need to improve our standards and increase the protections, and it's very difficult for that to happen anymore. And so we need to put the power back in the hands of the people to make government follow the science more closely, more quickly, more efficiently, and make sure that when we learn that something is damaging or harmful, that we get regulations put in place or upgraded as fast as possible. We don't just have to fear the federal government trying to turn our country into a wasteland. We also have to make sure that New Jersey does everything that it can in the face of the federal government and in the face of its own self to make sure that we pay attention to the science and keep our standards high and make them higher as we learn new information and not lag behind. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Woo! Yes, thank you, Dr. DeVito, for this very urgent call to action for New Jersey to be a leader where we know we can. And when we believe in something, we act on it, it does happen. So we believe that this is inevitable. It's just a matter of how quickly we can do it and demonstrate to future generations that we care. So let's listen to the people of New Jersey legislature. Prayer can be action, and spiritual awakening can happen through preventative policymaking like the New Jersey Green Amendment. So next up, we are excited to hear from Reverend Charles Loflin, Executive Director of UUFaithAction, New Jersey. That's Unitarian Universalists.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I am Reverend Charles Loflin, and I do have the privilege of serving as Executive Director for UUFaithAction, New Jersey. I just want to share with you that my Unitarian Universalist faith, which is a pluralistic tradition, we hold that all of us are sacred beings, and we have inherent worth, and we have the right to flourish with dignity, with love, and with compassion. We strongly support the goals of the Green Amendment because we believe our mutual flourishing depends on securing those rights to pure water, clean air, a stable climate, and a healthy environment. And not only for ourselves, but for all the generations that are to follow. Those concepts, they go far beyond political ideologies. They go far beyond any policy ideals or implementations. Friends, this is nothing short of a moral imperative, and it literally transcends all of our traditions. Whether we name ourselves Buddhist or Christian or Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, or some other name, or we choose no name at all to name our following, we are very much united. Yes, there is much diversity across our cultural experiences, expressions, and lived experience, We find guidance and inspiration from different sources, and they are expressed through different languages, and we use different vocabulary specific to those narratives. Yet, there are core values that many of us hold in common. For example, this one earth is a precious gift, and caring for our natural world is all of our responsibility. We are called, are we not, to fairness and to avoid harming others? There is a natural balance, and we can look around us and see that it has been disrupted. The changes in climate we are experiencing are a plea for restoration of balance and stability, and dare I say, just some common sense. Our actions will always reveal our deepest values, and each of us, each and every one of us individually, must have personal accountability to do something. And that's where the Green Amendment can come in for us today. It is an opportunity for us to put our faith values, those values we hold most dear, most sacred, into action, into being. At a time when so many feel powerless to make a real difference, this is legislation that simply makes explicit what our shared faith values affirm as already being true. We are not only interconnected, we are interdependent. And our flourishing is and always has been mutual. Our government should be held accountable for honoring the inalienable rights of all people to those core values. Friends, our shared faith demands nothing less of each and every one of us. So let's be about getting this work done. Thank you.
Woo! Yes. Thank you for that tremendous extra call to action. We can do it. We can do it together. We're not alone. And joining us now is a longtime advocate and supporter of the New Jersey Green Amendment since the beginning, representing Empower New Jersey, David Pringle.
Thank you, and welcome to the Rollway River Watershed, Emile. I think you know the river is awesome and in my backyard. I wonder where you are right now. The right to clean air and water and a safe environment is a basic human right. But as you heard today, we don't have it here in New Jersey. So putting that right in our Constitution alongside other rights, fundamental rights, and implementing it will make New Jersey more affordable and save lives. It will help alleviate rising costs from healthcare, property damage, taxes, and utility bills. It will reduce death and disease from floods, extreme heat, and pollution from the increasingly frequent and severe weather caused by human and fossil fuel-induced climate change. Some examples. 4 people died in floods in Plainfield this past summer, and 30 lives were taken during Hurricane Ida from flooding in New Jersey in 2021. Too many emergency room visits from asthmatics in Newark are on all too frequent bad air days. Increasing wildfire risks in the Pinelands and the Highlands. Extreme heat in urban areas last summer. Cold blue alerts due to the polar vortex this winter. Over $30 billion of devastating damage, especially along the Jersey Shore and Raritan Bay Shore, Woodbridge, Elizabeth, Newark, and Hudson County from Hurricane Sandy. I could go on and on. Clearly, statutory protections aren't enough to protect people and property here in New Jersey. We need constitutional protections to have this right and to make New Jersey more affordable, safer, and healthier. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Really appreciate your being here and for that powerful message, reminding us of all the costs that we can absolutely prevent. So I'm going to yield the floor next to a strong voice of leadership across our Garden State, a true local environmental protection pioneer and champion. We are very fortunate she is dedicated here in New Jersey. Jennifer Coffey, Executive Director of ANJEC, the Association of New Jersey Environmental Commissions.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for having me here today. What a wonderful group of people to be advocating shoulder to shoulder with this morning. Thank you for everything that you do. As Rachel said, I have the honor and privilege of serving as the executive director of ANJEC, the Association of New Jersey Environmental Commissions. And I want to say unequivocally that now is the time to take strong action to safeguard the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the food that we eat. We at ANJEC provide resources, education, and training to more than 300 municipalities across this great garden state. Those municipalities have taken the action to create environmental commissions to be watchdogs and guardians of our local environment. They are regularly frustrated by the system of government that we have here in New Jersey that really prohibits us from protecting those natural resources that we as humans are so intimately connected to and rely on for our well-being and for our very lives. We are currently seeing a move in the New Jersey legislature, not to move forward with protecting our environment, but in fact to go backwards. The number one issue that we hear at ANJEC from our more than 5,000 local advocates who are environmental commissioners is about flooding and stormwater. In New Jersey, our water problems are simply that we have too much of it, except for when we don't have enough of it. So we are in a tug of war balancing our floodwaters against drought. And unfortunately, much of our water is too dirty. So there's action now in the legislature after 17 years of work to develop climate resiliency regulations that will transform communities over time, that will save lives, that will save family homes, that will protect our Main Street businesses. There's a move afoot in the legislature to prevent the Department of Environmental Protection from adopting those regulations known as NJ Pact Real. We need the legislature to shift gears and wake up. The people of New Jersey know that we have environmental issues that affect our bottom dollar. They affect the health of our families. They affect our mental well-being and our physical well-being. In addition to our state government moving in the wrong direction now, we are witnessing unprecedented federal rollbacks of common sense and science-based policies that have protected and restored our shared environment for generations. The Green Amendment is a constitutional declaration that we, the people of New Jersey, have the right to a clean environment, and we need to adopt it now. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. Yes, speaking truth to power. Thank you for your leadership, Jen and ANJEC. We really did seek out to provide a perspective from everybody on the ground throughout the state, and our next speaker can do just that from her daily education and advocacy work across the whole state. We welcome Sharonda Allen, chapter co-chair of the New Jersey Gateway chapter of Climate Reality Project.
Hello, good morning, everyone. To our elected officials, thank you for taking the time out to be here to participate with us. I will begin with a land and labor acknowledgement. In this place that we call New Jersey, I live on Lenape Munsee land that the Lenape Munsee called Lenape Hoking, and also Shehb, which means the land that borders the ocean. This is also land where enslaved Africans toiled as free labor until 1865. I am a professor of environmental science, Sharonda Allen, sorry for the door opening, founder and executive director of Operation Grow Inc., and chapter co-chair of the Greater New Jersey Gateway of the Climate Reality Project. I'm also a commissioner for the Essex County Environmental Commission. First off, a Green Amendment for the state of New Jersey is vital and necessary legislation. Passage of this legislation is a revolutionary act. This year, as we celebrate the nation's semi-quincentennial, especially while we endure the regression of a hostile federal regime that prefers economic greed over environmental protection. We need to protect nature, humanity, and Mother Earth. The protections are required as intelligent human beings. With the passage of this Green Amendment, that will ensure the sustainability of the seventh generation down from us, which is a Native American concept. The Climate Reality Project has been educating the public. Our chapter in New Jersey, we've lost some numbers. I think a lot of organizations have been losing participants, but we work with our colleagues across the United States under the leadership of Al Gore to fight climate change. We must ensure that residents of New Jersey are given a voice in order to determine that they need to have protection for our environment, for themselves, for clean water, clean air, clean land, and environmental justice. I'll also take this moment to commend my fellow New Jersey urban farmers for advocacy, our work in gaining recognition of urban ag at the state level. I'm sorry, I don't have my reading glasses on, and I wrote these little notes, and I'm like, wait, now I can't see it. Sorry. Because urban agriculture is multifaceted. It's great for purification of the land, the air, carbon sequestration, pollinator protection, food access, and for community engagement. Let's shout down those whose actions degrade the environment, put profits first, and destroy the health of New Jersey residents. Let's make history. Let's preserve democracy by allowing the people to choose. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for your offering. Yes, yes, absolutely. And thank you for educating young people every single day.
Oh, you know it. Thank you.
Next up, we have an independent watchdog voice in the mix today representing Food and Water Watch New Jersey. Let's hear now from senior political organizer Kate Delaney.
Hey everyone, thanks. Glad to be here with you. As Rachel said, I'm a senior political organizer with New Jersey Food and Water Watch, and specifically, I am the South Jersey organizer for New Jersey Food and Water Watch. Our organizing work at New Jersey Food and Water Watch is focused on protecting our air and water and a livable future in our state for all New Jerseyans. Far too often in my work as a South Jersey organizer, I see politicians aligning themselves with corporate interests. The result of our electeds prioritizing these corporate interests is that residents often have to plead to maintain what should be basic protected rights, the right to clean water, clean air, and a healthy environment. Whether it's residents of the city of Camden trying to protect their air quality and respiratory health against the recurring poisonous fires of scrap metal recycler EMR, the people of Vineland trying to fend off the health impacts of a massive data center proposed for their community, or residents across the region opposing for-profit water companies trying to take over their public water systems, resulting in unaffordable water bills, the problem is the same. Our most basic human needs become an afterthought to industry profits. We need to codify our rights to clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment so these rights can be protected. Failing to do so means continuously fighting just to safely live in this state. We cannot rely on the whims of decision makers at every level of government who are often too swayed by lobbying efforts. Our rights need to be codified in order to make them inalienable. The Green Amendment will go a long way in making plain that here in New Jersey, we want to prioritize people and the planet over corporate profit. The South Jerseyans I work with on various environmental site fights all want the same thing: a safe environment for the next generation that isn't being contaminated by heavily polluting facilities, an end to the overdevelopment that threatens to change the rural character of our half of the state, and access to our most basic human need, the need for safe, affordable public water. I'm happy to be here with all of you and support this important effort that would move New Jersey in the right direction. Thanks all.
Thank you, Kate. Woohoo! Thank you. And thank you for pointing out those powerful examples of under or unregulated threats across the state and from your area in South Jersey. We need the New Jersey Green Amendment, if it hasn't been clear already. You may have read our next speaker's op-ed last year lifting up the New Jersey Green Amendment in practicality. We are glad to hear from Elliott Ruga, Policy and Communications Director for New Jersey Highlands Coalition.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm so pleased to stand here today with my colleagues in the environmental community and others to advocate for a green amendment in New Jersey. It is increasingly urgent that New Jersey adopt a green amendment. Our DEP spent years preparing sweeping updates to its land use regulations, flood hazard area rules, wetlands rules, and coastal zone management rules to correspond to the increase in precipitation intensity and periods of drought because of the warming climate. Once finally proposed, development interests lobbied strongly and succeeded in having them severely weakened. Then, once adopted, development interests filed an appeal challenging their adoption. At the same time, the Senate President initiated a constitutional provision that if both the Senate and the Assembly pass concurrent resolutions finding these adopted rules violate legislative intent, the adopted rules will be invalidated. These necessary environmental regulations are up against private property rights, which are guaranteed by the Constitution, as they should be. But since the right to clean water and a healthy environment are not protected by the Constitution, the environment loses out. Housing advocates have succeeded in getting inclusionary developments, which are residential developments, projects having 20% affordable units and 80% market units, which will represent most large residential projects proposed in the state. They will be considered now for hardship waivers from wetlands, flood hazard, and coastal zone management rules. So most large developments could be exempted from environmental regulations. And meanwhile, a bill is moving through the legislature that would allow any religious or nonprofit that owns land to propose an inclusionary development and bypass any municipal review. This is because the New Jersey Supreme Court has determined affordable housing is a constitutional right, as it should be. But until the right to pure water, clean air are rightfully guaranteed by the Constitution, the environment loses when in conflict with these constitutional protected rights. Let's have our environment, clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment join the other rights we hold dear. Thank you.
Thank you, Elliott. Thank you for making those very clear connections. And our final speaker today has been instrumental in making the global connections to our local work on the Green Amendment here in New Jersey. Last but certainly not least, we will hear from Blair Nelson, Executive Director of WaterSpirit.
Thank you very much, Rachel. It's truly inspiring to be on this call with so many people from across the Garden State, united with one voice in our call to pass a New Jersey Green Amendment. As Rachel said, I'm Blair Nelson, Executive Director of WaterSpirit, a Monmouth County-based spiritual ecology nonprofit sponsored by the Sisters of St. Joseph of Peace. We mobilize thousands of people of all faith traditions to protect water, and we believe that the time for a New Jersey Green Amendment is now. We cannot have a flourishing society without protecting water. As Pope Francis wrote in Laudato Si, quote, "Access to safe, drinkable water is a basic and universal human right, since it is essential to human survival and as such is a condition for the exercise of other human rights. Although New Jersey has taken some great steps to protect our water and communities, we have not gone far enough. Our fundamental right to clean air, clean water, and healthy environments has already been internationally recognized. In 2022, the United Nations General Assembly passed the right to a healthy environment, using language that closely mirrors what we want to see enacted here in New Jersey. Passing a New Jersey Green Amendment would align us with this international standard, securing rights that are, in fact, already ours. We would be standing up for ourselves. Giving our rights to a healthy environment and clean water the same level of protection that we currently have for our right to free speech or our right to practice any religion we choose is of fundamental importance. It's the basis upon which we can build a strong society that can weather any storm. And these storms are not only coming, they're already here. As we heard from other speakers on this call, climate change is exacerbating weather extremes like drought and flooding. Passing a green amendment would be an important step toward enacting climate justice in the Garden State. Time is of the essence. When the federal government is actively undermining environmental protections in ways that may take generations to undo, it is up to us on the state level to stand up for our rights and pass the protective legislation we truly need. A New Jersey Green Amendment would close the corridor between Pennsylvania and New York, our neighbors who already have green amendments in their state constitutions, creating a protective corridor here in our region, making us stronger together. I care about a green amendment because my faith teaches me that my own liberation is tied up with everyone else's. Everyone has the right to a healthy future, to clean water and clean air. A green amendment would protect that right for everyone and ensure an equitable, livable future for all New Jerseyans. It's time we give the people the right to vote for a New Jersey Green Amendment to safeguard water and to safeguard our future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Blair. Thank you to all of our speakers. I don't see that we have any questions right now. But we do want to generally encourage people absolutely to reach out with questions if they come up. If anything comes up right now, feel free to put that in the chat, raise your hand and we can call on you. But for today, I think for all those who might need additional assets, a digital press kit, including the full press release and a high resolution imagery, that will be emailed right after this call. And for further interview requests, please feel free to contact Shaelyn Parker. Thank you for joining us today and have a very productive day. Thank you all. Peace.